Welcome back to today's daily PBJ devotional. Read Exodus 3, Job 20, and Psalm 51 if you're following along in the Bible reading schedule to read through the Old Testament with us this year. This devotional is about Exodus 3. Meanwhile, Moses was shepherding the flock of his father-in-law Jethro, the priest of Midian. He led the flock to the far side of the wilderness and came to Horeb, the mountain of God. There the angel of the Lord appeared to him in a blazing fire from within a bush. Moses saw the bush ablaze with fire, but it was not consumed. So Moses thought, I must go over and see this marvelous sight. Why is the bush not burning up? When the Lord saw that he had gone over to look, God called to him from within the bush, Moses, Moses! Here I am, he answered. Do not come any closer, God said. Take off your sandals, for the place where you are standing is holy ground. Then he said, I am the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. At this, Moses hid his face, for he was afraid to look at God. The Lord said, I have indeed seen the affliction of my people in Egypt. I have heard them crying out because of their oppressors, and I am aware of their sufferings. I have come down to rescue them from the hand of the Egyptians, and to bring them up out of that land to a good and spacious land, a land flowing with milk and honey, the home of the Canaanites, Hittites, Amorites, Perizzites, Hivites, and Jebusites. And now the cry of the Israelites has reached me, and I have seen how severely the Egyptians are oppressing them. Therefore go! I am sending you to Pharaoh to bring my people the Israelites out of Egypt. But Moses asked God, Who am I that I should go to Pharaoh and bring the Israelites out of Egypt? I will surely be with you, God said, and this will be the sign to you that I have sent you. When you have brought the people out of Egypt, all of you will worship God on this mountain. Then Moses asked God, Suppose I go to the Israelites and say to them, The God of your fathers has sent me to you. And they ask me, What is his name? What should I tell them? God said to Moses, I am who I am. This is what you are to say to the Israelites, I am has sent me to you. God also said to Moses, Say to the Israelites, The Lord, the God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, has sent me to you. This is my name forever, and this is how I am to be remembered in every generation. Go, assemble the elders of Israel, and say to them, The Lord, the God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, has appeared to me and said, I have surely attended to you, and have seen what has been done to you in Egypt. And I have promised to bring you up out of your affliction in Egypt, into the land of the Canaanites, Hittites, Amorites, Perizzites, Hivites, and Jebusites, a land flowing with milk and honey. The elders of Israel will listen to what you say, and you must go with them to the king of Egypt and tell him, The Lord, the God of the Hebrews, has met with us. Now please let us take a 3-day journey into the wilderness, so that we may sacrifice to the Lord our God. But I know that the king of Egypt will not allow you to go unless a mighty hand compels him. So I will stretch out my hand and strike the Egyptians with all the wonders I will perform among them. After that, he will release you. And I will grant this people such favor in the sight of the Egyptians, that when you leave, you will not go away empty-handed. Every woman shall ask her neighbor, and any woman staying in her house for silver and gold, jewelry, and clothing. And you will put them on your sons and daughters, so you will plunder the Egyptians. This is God's word. The early days of Moses' life were like a fairy tale. He was saved from infanticide by Pharaoh's daughter, but really by a resourceful mother, and then raised in Pharaoh's household. That gave him insight into the politics of Egypt, as well as access to knowledge he could learn that would have been inaccessible to any other Hebrew boy. When he was old enough to be a man, Moses tried to become a leader for Israel. In Exodus 2, Moses killed an Egyptian who was abusing a Jewish man. Instead of causing other Jewish men to rally behind him as their leader, however, they simply gossiped about what he had done and put his life in jeopardy. Now, after years in desert obscurity, God called him to be the leader he had attempted to be many years earlier. This time, however, Moses was unwilling. In this chapter, we read excuse after excuse given by Moses to God's command to him. The next chapter gives us even more excuses. This man, who was once an enthusiastic volunteer for Jewish liberation, now wanted nothing more than to stay in the desert with his family and to be a shepherd in obscurity. His reluctance to lead, however, shows that he was now exactly where God wanted him to be. Instead of leading out of personal self-confidence, Moses needed to be personally compelled and persuaded by God himself to do this important job. For the first time in his life, Moses was ready to be a spiritual leader, not just a political or military leader. Moses knew that he was incapable of doing what God called him to do. If he were going to be successful, he would need to be absolutely dependent on the power of God. And this is what each of us needs to live and lead for God every day, too. Knowing our own incapability to do what God commands us to do, we must look to God for power, wisdom, and results. Drawing from Israel's lessons of failure in the desert, Paul wrote in 1 Corinthians 10:12, "So if you think you are standing firm, be careful that you don't fall." Trusting God means asking for his help and strength, because we all understand how easily we fall. So keep that in mind today. And if the Lord has laid something on your heart that you want to do, remember you need his power to do it all for his glory. If you found this devotional helpful, please sign up to be helped by it every day by going to dailypbj.com/subscribe. Put in your email address in the box there, and for free, every day, an email will show up in your inbox that gives you a link to the audio, video, and transcripts of these devotionals, and that will help you be in God's Word every day. Please also consider supporting me on a monthly basis. Go to dailypbj.com/support, and thank you for your consideration. Please also share this with someone who can be encouraged in their Christian life by it, and I'll see you next time. May God bless you. Hope you have a great day.